ever have like that kind of genuine antipathy with an opponent going into a fight?
Not really, not really. And I think I was professional enough to not allow that, because it's just, for me, it's just
baggage.
It's just a business. It's like, I used to say, he's going to buy me a car, he's going to get me what, that was my, and of course, when it got more, it was about titles. But coming up, it was just, just give me a name, I'll show up. I'm not. There was a couple of people I didn't like Lloyd Honeyghan, but we had a tour a couple of times in the gym,
in the sparring,
and really got to pull us apart. There was literally bell rang, we never stopped, everyone piled in. It was the East.
Where was that? The Beckett or somewhere else? Yeah.
A couple of times, and then we had to train at different hours because I had a tour with him, like in the changing room. I walked in and I have no grudge against anyone. I went to shake his hand, he wouldn't shake my hand. I said, "Nice."
Do you know what? It's funny you say that, Gary, because there was an ex-pro friend of mine called John Benny, Scottish fella, but London-based, who trained at the Beckett in that kind of era. He may have crossed paths with you. And he said Honeyghan one time just hit him for no reason. I'm talking about their shadowboxing, and they're in the ring. Oh, I think Lloyd Honeyghan was shadowboxing in that tiny ring in the Beckett, and John Benny was in the gym starting to warm up himself, or just maybe about to start his workout, and was looking at Honeyghan, or so Honeyghan thought. And Honeyghan has just taken a swipe at him for no reason while he's shadowboxing and actually hit him.
I went in. I was really happy to meet him and open, and I said, "Hey, nice to meet you. We're going to spar." And I put my hand out, and he just looked at me and just walked away. No smile, no hello. And I said, "What the fuck's that?" And who was it? I think it was Bobby Neal or
the trainer. Yeah, his trainer.
He just said, "Man, no, he's leave him." I said, "Fuck, leave him. I'll fucking kill him." You know what I mean? I got into I was, but a young, headstrong kid, and I was a little bit bigger than him. I was a weight above him, and I was, that was an advantage for me. And of course, he's a very good fighter. I handled him, I thought, pretty well in the spar, but we got to such a tear up. It was like a fucking fist fight, and they pulled us apart, and then we were trying to get to each other. But yeah, he just didn't, he just didn't like, I don't know if it was a race thing, because he used to always come in with like the Jamaican hats and the black, memorabilia. I don't know. A race for me is, I'm very, I don't like anything racial. You know what I mean? It's like
anything motivated to divide.
I don't like that. I think people are people. I think it should not be an issue. But of course, some people are, some are not. But he had a big issue. It's like when Hopkins said to Calzaghe, "No white man will ever beat me." That bothers me, because it means somewhere inside him, and maybe he has reason, maybe he has history. I don't know, but I don't think there's any room in it. We're all just trying to make a living. All fighters just trying to do what we do.
Obviously, Alan Minter, the other way around, wasn't it? Famously, he was dogged for the rest of his kind of life. That legacy was slightly lurking behind it. The shadow was Minter. Yeah, with Hagler, supposedly said, "I'll never let a black man take my title. I will never lose my title to a black man." Which he may have said that, because when you think about it, Gary, in the context, you're a couple of years older than me, and you remember a time when things were much more racist, certainly on our side, on the Caucasian side. When you're white and you grow up in a certain culture, you hear things, don't you, that things that would be absolutely unacceptable today, and people just wouldn't say, wouldn't think, and wouldn't feel. They might feel it still, I don't know. But you know what I mean? It was. We remember a more racist landscape, don't we? When a man might have said something like that.
My best mate growing up, and this is somewhat what broke my heart. I had a friend called Derek Murray.
Yeah.
And there were not many black kids in the school, and I became his friend. And there was not many black kids in the town. And he had a lot of racial issues. And me and him became best friends. And so I would always, protect him and be, back him. And one day I sat him down. And he had an issue, of course, but he had every right, because he was so racially, segregated and abused by all these fucking idiots. And one day I sat him down. I said, why are you that way too? I said, I know you have reason for that. He said, Gary, he said to me, you're the only person I've ever met that when we fight, and I call him a C-U-N-T, right? He said, that's all I call him. He said, everyone else, when they have a fight, they say you're black.
You're black. Yeah.
And he said, you're the only person who doesn't say that to me. And so I understood his issue. Evening, Julian. I understood his issue, and I'm sure Lloyd had his issues.